Hey, it's Mike. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Today, I want to look at my best life as a diabetic. How did I get here? What do you have to do to help yourself, friend, family member achieve their best lives? And what did it take for me to get to this point? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. What do I call my best life as a diabetic? It's hard for someone to understand. For years, I've spoken about this in one or two blogs, but for years, I didn't follow a plan. I do whatever I want. I kind of was using diabetes when it was convenient, and other times I would just do what I want. I'd eat candy, and I control it by insulin. If I had sweets, I'd give myself a couple of extra units. Did it cause trouble? Yes. What changed in my life that made it so that it wasn't feasible for me to carry on that life? The biggest thing was, for years, I was followed by my family doctor. He didn't really understand the importance of diabetes. He wasn't up to the highest echelons. And I went many years without seeing any doctor or just seeing a family doctor about things being diabetic. I would have them admit by hospital, and then, oh yes, I'm going to fly right and everything is just going to be wonderful. Then I get out and I try to follow, but then life got in the way, work, whatever, would get into the way, and it was hard to learn and to grow. I went into the hospital once with my diabetes was out of whack. And at this point, I was going to Hospital A. Hospital A was really hard to sort of, from where I lived, to get to for visitors. I was in closer to a bigger, larger hospital that was newer. So, when I knew that I needed to get my diabetes taken care of, I decided to go to this hospital. And I have no problems in saying which hospitals I was at. My first hospital was Burnaby Hospital. At Burnaby Hospital, I should have been able to take care of myself, but I wasn't mature enough to take care of my own diabetes. I was an adult, so I was living up to the point and take, oh yes, I take care of myself. Yes, I take the insulin, but somehow it got away from me. Or my favorite one was, oh, it was my birthday, which was in April and this is May. And I just really haven't got a good control on my diabetes since then. So I think in the back of my mind, Burnaby Hospital was catching on to me. And I was the one that wasn't happy with that. So I thought, hey, we're closer to Royal Columbia now. We were still in Burnaby Hospital's catchment area, but I went down there, checked myself in, was treated for diabetes, and they started to take care of me. They asked a very simple question that no one ever asked me before. And probably because they knew and they knew me and they knew what to expect. But at Royal Columbian, I got checked in and they asked, who's your endocrinologist? And I kind of looked at them. I knew there was a diabetic doctor, but I didn't know what their name was. I had seen one years ago, but then we moved away from there, so I didn't have an endocrinologist. The endocrinologist, which really got me turned around, was Clarissa Wallace. She's now teaching dean at the University of British Columbia Medical. She was awesome. Her bedside manner, I got the feeling that she would fight for me. And I guess instead of doing it for me, I did it for her. And then I started to have more energy and I started to take control of my diabetes. Now, when people say this, they expect, oh, yes, I just woke up one morning, took care of my diabetes, and everything was going to be perfect. Don't lie to yourself. It's not going to be. Something is going to change in your life. It took many tries. I had a few more times in the hospital, but I suddenly felt that I could be honest. Why are you in the hospital? Well, I really had a tough time controlling my blood sugars. And now I'm just way out there. I've even tried controlling my blood sugar, and it's got me totally sick and vomiting. So I was admitted. So I was in the hospital. I had had trouble handling my diabetes. I went into emergency and I was given what? they were debating on whether I had an infected foot or not. It was red. It was warm. Oh, I can't remember. But I was admitted, and they kept trying to control my blood sugar. Even after very strict watching of the hospital staff and my diabetes, my foot did not heal. And when it did finally heal, my blood sugars still weren't coming out to whack. They took a bone, I'm going to call it something, for any of you who know the correct terms, just send me a email to Mike's Diabetes World at gmail.com. That's Mike's Diabetes World at gmail.com. I believe it was a bone scan. They took a look at my scan. They found 3 sort of little breaks. So then the discussion went, is it infected? Is it not infected? It was sort of the old me would really just sort of give up with that. But I decided, no, I'm not going to give up. And thus, I started measuring my blood sugar. I got a journal. Dr. Wallace would check the journal every single day. And we tried to control the blood sugars. Finally, I got into a routine with the blood sugars. They weren't at all perfect, but it was something I was going to work on. I had a goal. I accepted that I had diabetes, and it wasn't just a planned sort of thing for me. From that moment, diabetes is still what I've illustrated before, is diabetes isn't here. It's not kind of like in my face every 5 minutes. Keeping tight control allows it to go over here where I can see it. I know it's there, but it's not every minute of every day. I can start enjoying life. I would have energy. I would like to say from that moment on, there was no more problems with control or anything else. We take it one day at a time. And thinking back, just sort of while I started talking on this video, I had to think back. Before, I went in with the notion, oh yes, I'm going to have the perfect blood sugars every single day. And you know what? That's probably not the best way to look at it. I start looking, what's my blood sugar now? Where is it going to be in 2 hours? In 2 hours, would I just glance at my blood sugar? If it's up, I take some insulin as a correction dose to bring it down. If it's down, I don't allow my pump to pump any more insulin. But I've taken control of diabetes. Diabetes doesn't have control of me. And you know what? We've had some success. But all that time of me not taking care of my body could have added on to me living in a home on a disability credit. for diabetes. I've said it before, the best sort of control that you can get is out in the real world, dealing with your job, dealing with school, learning what can you do to control your diabetes. Always be aware of everything. You may find that things work a hell of a lot better for you. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Think about it. Find out what controls you and what do you do to help control your diabetes. No one really likes being out of control. Once they get back into some sort of control or easy monitoring of blood sugar, they now can count and feel the energy. You're not thirsty every 5 minutes. Monitoring, counting carbs, learning about the disease is the only way that you can move forward. It's that simple. Anyone who isn't following the diabetes plan has to come up with a reason. And, I went and I saw all the videos saying, well, just, you have to, or you're going to lose a limb, or you're going to go blind. A kid is just going to sit there and go, yeah, that's for people who've had diabetes for years and never controlled themselves. Until one day it happens to you. And I took that wake-up call and I ran with it. Now, when I go to my diabetic doctor, I'm not lying. I say, yeah, I had an extra piece of pie, but I didn't account for it. I know, looking at me, yes, you could say yes. He's probably had many extra pieces of pie. But you can't live that. You can't live your life like that. But find a reason. Find a reason or help your friend find the reason. Don't harp on them like you're their parent, because it won't work. Don't harp on someone's kid because you have diabetes and you're under control and they're not. And, oh, you have to do this. You have to do that. Something's got to be alive within them. And something could be as easy as I got a new endocrinologist and things worked well. That's all I really had to say. And now, with my diabetes, I'm living the best life I can. I keep diabetes here. I know it's there. I know when to sort of check my blood sugars, but it's not right here. And one of these days soon, not tomorrow, because we have a big day tomorrow, but I'll discuss tools that can be used and what tools work and what works for you the best. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll be right back with tomorrow's video topic. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Hi, it's Mike. Tomorrow's topic will be centered around my eye exam and what's happening. Am I got good control in the eyes or not? So stay tuned. As I used to say, always same bat station, same bat time. Tomorrow. Have a good day, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email address is Mike's Diabetes World at gmail.com. All one line. Drop me